But there's been a big resurgence in the nylon string in the past year or two. We caught the train right there on ukuleles and have just done marvelously well. I'd like to catch this train too because it's coming on. You're welcome. So these guitars, and what's really going to be our pocket on these there's this Fusion series, and the Gypsy Kings, there's a couple of them out there that Cordoba makes that's really going to be the bread and butter. And they're going to be non-traditional in a couple of ways. They're going to be really geared towards the steel string player. So here's what you're going to see. There's a lot of traditional elements with it, and there's a lot of modern elements. The traditional elements and things that are going to be prevalent as far as talking to people about is, you're going to have fan bracing on there. Because nylon strings have much lighter tension on them, you can use a much lighter bracing, and so they tend to resonate and just be more, the tone holds and the sustain is better, and it just gives you a lighter bracing. It has a Spanish heel, and I explained this before, but I've been doing some research on heel construction and body construction. And here's the thing, and this is how you sell the Spanish heel. Traditional nylon or steel string guitars, a body is made and the neck is made separately and then joined together. And there's a lot of talk about bolt-on necks versus dovetail neck joints and mortise and tenon, different types of neck joints. What a nylon string, or what a Spanish heel on a nylon string does, is the neck and the body are made together, and then the neck and sides are made together, and the top and back are put in. What that means is the neck is actually built, or the sides are built into the neck. So the neck and the sides turn into one big massive piece, as opposed to taking a neck and slapping it onto a body. So it adds more mass and more what's that?
Strength.
Not really.
No?
No, I'm just kidding. It adds more mass and sustain and tone to it. So that's a big thing about the Spanish heel. The other thing that's going to really appeal to players is that traditionally nylon string or classical guitars have a flat radius for that really style of picking. This actually has a little bit of a curved radius, so it feels more comfortable for a steel string player. This is something that is going to be very useful to, or very applicable to a lot of people. People that have multiple guitars and want something new, this is great. Guys that play on stage that just want a different flavor and a different feel, this is a marvelous instrument. It's also non-traditional, obviously, because it's got a cutaway and good solid electronics on there. It's going to apply to guys. A lot of people start on nylon string guitars. A lot of teachers recommend it because they're easy to play. So they're going to come back to that after being playing for so while. Try this. I am going to start putting these into people's hands that are even looking for, maybe they've got a $400 or $500 guitar and they're looking for something nicer. Because there's nothing more mellow than sitting around and
The big ukulele.
great tone and a different tone, and it's got a little different playability, and it will take you in different directions. So the real big things, again, just to reiterate, these guitars are going to combine traditional elements and modern elements together. The fan bracing, the Spanish heel are traditional elements. The radiused fingerboard, the electronics, the cutaway are modern elements. And these two things coming together, we're going to see this next rise. There'll still be a couple in there. They'll still be in that $800 to $1,000 range, so if they are a player, they can still get a really nice nylon string instrument.
And that guitar is beautiful. For
gorgeous.
Less than $800.
Flame maple back and sides.
Yeah.
Wonderful tuners. They're pointed exceptionally well.
Yeah, they are. It sounds good. I want one.
Do you have a question?
Is it still have the thick neck on it like a classical would?
It is, but it's not quite as wide. A lot of times you'll get to that 1 7/8 inch to 2 inch wide nut on here. These are a little narrow. These are typically around the 1 7/8 inch, so they're not getting quite as wide. And I don't think the taper is quite as wide down here either. It does feel bigger. I mean, you can feel it's more. You're playing a nylon string guitar, but the compensation is it's so easy to press and play that you're not. It's just. It compensates for the wider neck if you're not used to a wider neck. And typically people will go with a wider neck rather than a narrow neck. You get too small in the neck and your hand feels all cramped. With the wider neck, you're just actually opening up and you start doing a lot more finger style things that really accommodate that wider neck.